Moving on now, a staggering 3.4 million Aussies suffer from anxiety, and while many try to run from it, others resign themselves to a lifetime of fear and worry. But what if anxiety didn't have to be the enemy, but instead an ally?
That's the promise from Dr. David Rosmarin, a Harvard academic who's flipping the script and helping millions embrace their anxiety rather than avoid it. And to tell us more, Dr. David Rosmarin joins us live from Boston, Massachusetts. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Now, a certain amount of anxiety is, I think, probably normal. How can we tell the difference between everyday nerves that are kind of healthy and something more serious?
Sure. Just as I'm watching this news clip, except for the yoga with puppies and the dad bod, everything else is making me palpably anxious of what's going on. And that's the case for everybody. If you're watching the news, if you're in this field especially, you're going to feel anxious, and that's normal. There is at a point where anxiety interferes with your life, where it makes it hard for you to function, and that's clinical anxiety, which is something different.
Well, you kind of pointed it out there. We consume so much doom and gloom on our phones all day, every day. It's a 24/7 kind of prospect. Is that just adding to the problem here?
Sure it is, but it also makes anxiety so much normal. When you live in a society where you're tethered to your phones and you can't escape it, even if it's not bad news, even if it's just messaging, it's going to activate you. And I think we need to make more peace with the fact that we feel anxious and learn how we can use that in a constructive way as opposed to trying to shut it down every time it happens.
So what I like is you actually have a 4-step process for managing anxiety. Can you talk us through that?
Sure. Step 1 is to identify, what are you anxious about? Is it something real? Which often it is, or is it something that's really just on your mind? Whatever it is, takes us to step 2, which is to share it with someone else. Often when people feel anxious, they isolate, they try to button up, they try to mask it, and instead getting it out of your heart and into the ears of someone else is step 2. Step 3 is to embrace it. Anxiety is not going anywhere. And it can help you to become more resilient because of that. Just like going to the gym helps you to build muscles, dad bods aside, having anxiety helps you to build emotional resilience. And step 4 is the hardest one, but to let go and to recognize the limits of our control.
Yeah.
When we do that, anxiety actually becomes potentially something to help us thrive.
David, I was just going to pick up on one of your points there. You're telling people to actually embrace their anxiety. That feels like it's easier to say than to actually do.
Yes, and it's also harder to live a life without embracing anxiety. It's much harder to try to get rid of it all the time than to do that which makes us anxious in order to build that resilience. Once you get the bug, it's kind of like going to the gym. It hurts, but you love it.
So there does seem to be a whole new generation of kids crippled by anxiety. Australia, we're set to introduce a world-first social media ban later this year. Do you think this will actually help? And what can parents do to help their kids who are suffering from anxiety?
Yeah, there's no question. I think Jonathan Haidt has made a very strong and adequate case for this, both on scientific grounds and just personally. And to see in Australia, in many ways, leading the world, I hope and pray that here in the United States and in other Western countries, we're going to see similar trends. I do think it'll be huge, a very important step for there to be more regulation around this.
Well, David, it is a big problem within our society here, and thank you for all of your tips today. We can embrace our anxiety with confidence now. Thank you for that.
Thanks for having me.